Welcome to the Interior Decorating Virtual Open House. My name is Nadine Heinz, and I am the coordinator and one of the faculty members in the Interior Decorating program. So glad you're able to join us today. Just a little background about myself. I have been a faculty member in this program for 5 years now, and I am a certified interior decorator with the Decorators and Designers Association of Canada. And I have a specialty in universal design as well as aging in place. And I look forward to seeing you in September to embark on this journey of interior decorating with you. I'm joined by a faculty member here, Leah Lasani, who will introduce herself as well.
Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us for this virtual open house. My name is Leah Lasani. I've been a faculty member in the program for 11 years. My background is in interior design and sustainability, so I really focus now my practice and teaching on sustainability in decorating and design. And I'm really excited to share with you this open house and hope we answer all of the questions that you might have. To give you an overview of what our presentation is going to be today, we're going to speak to some of you maybe have already applied and accepted, some of you may be deciding if you want to start, and some of you maybe possibly haven't yet applied. So we're going to kind of summarize that process and why we think this program is outstanding. We'll go through some frequently asked questions that students might have, devices, supplies, textbooks, that information, and then we'll finish off with talking about the career paths that many of our students have gone on to upon graduation.
Great. So you may be wondering, why should I be applying to the interior decorating program? And hopefully I can answer some of those questions for you. We have an incredibly diverse faculty in our program, many who do currently practice in the industry, and that basically ensures that students receive current knowledge and up-to-date skills that really translate and apply directly to future employment in the industry. Our program has also been continuously updating and evolving as the interior decorating industry has changed over the years. We are innovative and creative in allowing students to gain the skills and computer application knowledge that will again translate directly into the industry and make them really employable upon graduation. We have a dedicated studio space, which I will show you in the upcoming presentation, that is for interior decorating students only. It gives students access to samples and supplies that are really relevant and important to become familiar with when working in the interior decorating industry, as well chances for student collaboration and real hands-on feedback from your instructors. We also have we're the only program that allows students who finish with the interior decorating program, who are successful and receive their diploma, to then do one more year, so that within the visual merchandising arts diploma, and instead of doing 2 years to get that additional diploma, it's only one more year. And so after 3 years, those students will graduate with a diploma in interior decorating as well as a diploma in visual merchandising arts, which therefore makes them much more employable upon graduation. So, one more thing is that we have students who do graduate and continue on to work after doing their diploma. Before they finish their last 2 weeks, they will be on a work placement, so a field placement where they get skills by working in the industry. We have up to 50% of our students who complete those 2 weeks of field placement and then actually go on to work full-time in those same positions. So it's been, really successful for us because students are able to translate a field placement opportunity into full-time employment. Leah's going to talk and answer a few more of those frequently asked questions that we get from future students.
Thanks, Nadine. So one of the ones that we're most often asked, and this applies to those of you that maybe haven't yet applied, is do you need a portfolio? So you do not need a portfolio um, to be accepted into this program. Another common question is, and this often comes from parents, is what's the difference between the Conestoga College Interior Decorating Diploma and the Interior Design degree? So our program is 2 years. The degree program is 4. The diploma program falls into the School of Creative Industries, whereas the degree is within the School of Engineering. But really, when we're thinking about it from a job, a career perspective, what we teach in this program is everything related to residential design, whereas the interior design degree program is really 90% non-residential. We like to think of our program as really teaching you and giving you the information and knowledge that you need to know how a home is built, how to space plan it, how to pick lighting, where plumbing should and shouldn't go, efficiencies and sustainability solutions, materials and finishes, fabrics and textiles, lighting, etc. So we teach everything cohesively that is related to interiors related to residential design. So that's always really important that we clarify that. This is always one that gets students excited is, do we have exams? Or will I have to take exams? For the most part, in your core diploma courses, you do not take any exams. You will have tests. It's not until you get into your elective courses that you are likely going to be writing exams. We are a project-based experiential learning program. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have homework to do. We say that for every hour of class, you should expect to be doing about an hour of homework per week. There's certainly ebbs and flows to that, but project-based learning is hands-on learning, which is creative and applied and hopefully gets you excited, but it is time-consuming. So though you don't have to study and write those large exams, we do hope that everyone understands that there is some time management skills required. So we certainly help to teach that in first year, but it's a project-based learning course. Another question that we often have from students is, I don't have any background in art or in computers or in design. You know, am I going to be successful in this program? You're absolutely going to be successful. In first year, we really take everything back to the foundation and the fundamentals. And so, you know, we have people who are coming right out of high school. We have people that are coming right from another college program or a university program, completely unrelated. And we have some people who have been out of college for 20 years, and everyone can be successful. We try to teach everything from the basics. So if you're one of those students who feels that they don't have maybe the necessary skills, we guarantee that we will teach you them. The final set of questions is related to supplies and textbooks. So you have to purchase one textbook for the core courses in our program, and it costs about $150, but we use it across all of our courses. You will likely have to buy a textbook for your electives, and we also give you the option in some of your more specialized courses. We'll give you a list of optional books, but you only are required to purchase one textbook. The caveat to that, however, is, again, it's project-based hands-on learning, that you will be required to spend, certainly your first semester, about $500 to purchase supplies for the program, an art kit, etc. And then every semester for the following 3 semesters, we say that, you know, you will have to incur costs to purchase foam core for boards or purchase supplies or samples. So the textbook cost is offset by the supplies required for the course. And that art supply list is given to you at orientation or into your first couple weeks in September. If we go to the student projects, we're just going to give you a little quick insight into what some of our students are doing. So this was a first year project that a student completed in February. we firmly believe in the power of collaborative learning. And so this was a project that was executed across 3 different courses. The students learned how to draft a floor plan and then pull that floor plan up into an elevation, which you can see in the top of that project board. Then they were taught how to select the proper materials and finishes. And then they were also taught how to render, which is basically how to mimic in a drawing form materials and finishes. So this was a project that came through those 3 courses, and this was an outstanding project, and this was done in first year. So you could be doing this next winter as well. The final 2 projects that we're showing are what we refer to as capstone projects. And the capstone project is one that runs essentially across an entire semester and into 3 courses. And it's essentially a project that is designed to show us that you understand all of the different knowledge and skills. You have it all to graduate and to start working in the industry. So you are given a floor plan, you space plan it, figure out all the nuances of the kitchen and bath and millwork design, you select materials and finishes, you do lighting, fabrics and textiles, then renderings. And these renderings, there's a floor plan and there's also a master bedroom rendering. These are done via Google SketchUp. So you're taught in first year how to render and draft by hand, and in second year you're taught how to render and draft on the computer. And then the final project that we have is also a capstone, an example of a student's capstone. And you can see again a floor plan in plan view, properly drafted on AutoCAD, some of the lighting, furniture, materials and finishes, and then in the bottom, those 2 are done outstanding examples of 3D rendering. So we hope those project examples excite you and really help to see what you could be doing in 2 short years from now.
Great. So you looking at those projects, you might be wondering, well, what kind of hardware and what kind of software might I need to be successful in this program? Essentially, we're saying that you need to have a laptop. It's a bring your own device program. So that means that you need to have access to a laptop that you can bring into class as well as take home and still maintain your ability to work on projects. One of the requirements, so people ask, do I need a Mac or a PC? Either one is fine. If you are going to go purchase something new, we do recommend a PC over the Mac, mostly because when you get into second year and you're doing your AutoCAD classes, that software you're being taught on PCs is the same with your SketchUp and all the other softwares that you're learning in first year as well. And so sometimes when you're working with a Mac, you have some different controls that do the same functions, but you learn they're a little bit different than what you'd be doing on your PC. So either is fine. Many people will be able to switch to the Mac if that's what you already have. But if you're purchasing something new, you might want to consider purchasing a PC. And in terms of requirements of that PC or the Mac, you'd want to have at least 2 terabytes of hard drive. In this program, we have a lot of applications and images and websites that you might have open all simultaneously at the same time. And so you really need something that can, for a minimum, manage all of that information. And so you want to have that 2 terabytes as well. You want to make sure that there is a USB-C thumb drive, and as well as anything that you have some word processing software as well. Lastly, having a smartphone to take pictures or a digital camera. You will be taking pictures of your projects and then uploading them onto your laptop. So being able to get a digital image of something that is in a hard copy form is going to also be really important. So those are the main requirements. If you have any more questions about that, the website, the Conestoga website has the full details under each program. Okay, thanks. And right, I'm going to take you now on a virtual tour of our studio space. So you'll have the hardware and you'll have the, and now you'll see what it looks like when we actually get into the room. So let me just share that with you here. So this is a picture of our studio space. You can see the collaborative environment with everyone sitting together, and lots of great lighting. And let me see if I can move this around here. Here you can see we have access to really great natural light with those big windows. So we're able to use things like the fabric samples, which are just on the left here. We also have the paint chips. And there are a number of other samples like flooring and wallpapers and basically anything, tiles. We have a good storage room that has a number of other supplies that are not shown in the space. But basically, these are the kinds of resources and the space that you would be spending a lot of your design time in, versus there will be some classroom time that's outside of the studio, but this is our dedicated space, and we're really proud of it.
So to give you all some perspective about the careers that are available to you when you have graduated, we thought we would just share with you some of the paths that our grads have taken. This is, I think, our 13th or 14th year of the program. So there's at least a dozen years of graduating students that have gone into the workplace. And we have a really high graduation employment rate. Generally, we've always maintained a high employment rate upon graduation. And we also have an amazing reputation in our community. So graduates come out with skills and knowledge that far exceeds their employers' expectations, which is really great. There are a number of different career paths to take. Nadine mentioned that there is a bridge to VMA, so you can do those 2 diplomas in 3 years. We've had some students that have gone on to take other programs within the college, but if you feel after those 2 years you are ready to embark on a path in the profession of interior decorating, there are a lot of different avenues which you can go down. So of course, becoming an interior decorator is probably the one that most of you would think about. We encourage students to find an employer who aligns with their values and where they see themselves moving forwards. A lot of our students have gone on to work for builders, and that might be in the capacity of meeting with new homeowners and helping them in their selections. It might be working with the builder, going on to site visits, making sure that timelines are being aligned to, etc. And then there's also potential to work as a model home merchandiser, so helping builders prepare and merchandise their homes to open as a model home. And that also aligns to a big career path and a newer one, which is home staging. One of the career paths that we see as a steady and ever increasing option is that of kitchen and bath design, or what we would refer to as millwork design. We're certainly aware of how our career or our industry is changing with media and digital design, and kitchen and bath is a space where we think there's still going to be a lot of opportunities. So if you find that you love details and you're really aware of the functions of space, kitchen and bath might be an option. Digital rendering or drafting, if you love computers, is an option. You might find that you're really interested in fabrics and textiles and window treatments. So lots of opportunities there. We've had some of our grads go on to work at both of the biggest design and decorating magazines in Canada. We've also had a number of them that go on to work as a product expert, or to be an account rep for a paint supplier or a fabric supplier, or possibly working as an art rep. So, and then there's lots and lots of other one-offs where our students have found a career as a blogger or as a lifestyle specialist. So this is just a short little list of the potential for students that come out of our program with their diploma.
So I hope today's presentation and this virtual open house has really sparked your interest or reaffirmed your decision in applying for the program, or just gotten you excited because you are already coming. And I hope that we've answered a lot of the questions that you might have moving forward. For those of you who do decide to join us in September, we will be having an orientation in August. At that time, you will get, through the month of August, you'll be getting your timetable and your schedule. You'll be getting further details about the program and the delivery of that, as well as any supplies, specific supplies. You'll be getting a supply list. So those things are all to come sort of at the end of the summer. And those are certainly something to look forward to as we go through the rest of the summer. So if you have any further questions, or you just want to touch base, or anything that's related to joining us in September or in future years, you're welcome to reach out to me. I can be Nadine Heinz. I can be reached at nheinz@conestogac.on.ca, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have over email. That concludes our open house. Leah and I were really pleased that you were able to join us, and we're excited to see your faces in September.